On March 16, 2026, Affinity has released its newest update. It went from 3.0 to 3.1. However, on the splash screen, you will notice they changed the name. It's called March 26, meaning March 2026. But it's the same. You will see 3.1 when you upgrade. And if you go inside the ad remove program, you have the list, it's going to name it as 3.1. So, what's new in this upgrade? Well, first of all, the light interface is back. Yes. If you have the dark interface and you want to switch it to the light, you go under Edit, Settings, User Interface, and you can toggle here a light and dark interface. So it's going to be your own preference. Whatever you prefer to use, you can now use. Another addition was the accent color. I'm not sure why, but it's kind of fun. By default, these are the colors that come with each interface. So whether it's light or dark, you have that blue. But you can also have your system color. So depending on maybe the skin you have on Windows, or I don't know how it is with Mac, but you can change that. Or if you really have other preference, you can choose a manual custom color and you can change that to anything. You see how it goes. I would suggest to be careful which color you want because as you can see, the text behind might become hard to read. So you might still want to have something that is at least medium or dark. And same thing if you are using the dark interface, you have that same option. And again, if you have a light color, it might not work as well. This accent color will appear in dialog windows. It will appear in checkboxes, also in the layers panel, whatever layer is active. That will show in that new color that you choose. So you can choose anything. I'm just going to keep it to default. I like it, but I still want my light interface. Another new command or function in this upgrade is the ability to convert a selection to a vector. This will become very useful if you're doing text inside of a shape. So for example, let's take this. Let's say I want to have some text inside this apple shape. So I can select my shape. And if I don't want to have my text completely up to that edge, I can go to Pixel Selection, Grow, Shrink, and I can shrink my selection a bit. However I want. Maybe I want to shrink it so I don't have that section on top. And I can apply. At this point, I can also use my selection tool, set to freehand, and I can subtract whatever area I don't want. In my selection. Once I have my selection the way I want or wherever I would want to have my path, I would go to Vector, Convert to Curve, and I have my shape. It will take on the color you have here, but as you can see, there is my vector. You can see that it's a vector because if I put the nodes, there are all the nodes. So at this point, you can choose to save this as an asset. You can use it to put a brush stroke around it. You can use it to put text. Or if you want to use it to put text inside, you can also go to Layers, Convert to Text Frame. And now I can add my text. You can see that the text frame icon is activated. And this is the shape where I can add some text and it will stay within a margin of the actual starting shape. And you can see how now my shape is all around. This will be great if you are doing scrapbooking or journaling and you really want to have your text inside of an area that is irregular. You will not have to draw it manually using the pen tool. So this is a great addition. I'm sure you are going to love that and use it in different ways. Another addition is now the home screen. The home screen is typically something that you will get when you first launch your program. You can have recent documents, you can have your templates, your favorites, etc. You can also choose how to arrange things. And for that, we can go to Edit, Settings, and inside the home screen, you can choose which items you want to have on your home screen. You might want them all, you might just want a couple, and you can also place them in order. So if I want my presets to be on top, I can put that like this. So my presets will be accessible quickly if that's something that I use often. Personally, I do not have templates or favorites at this point, so the important part is to have my presets on top. So now you can see my presets are on top. Whenever I open and launch Affinity, I will have my presets ready to click on. Another really interesting addition is the fact that now information will be available on the tabs directly. Remember, we have all this information with the size, and it takes up a lot of space in the toolbar. We can change that. So let's right-click and customize the toolbar. Now I can just take this and pull it down. Not there. Camera data, personally, I don't need it. So let's make more room. And I can now go in here, right click, and I can show the document size. So let's see, I have the size of my documents directly on the tabs. So I know which size each image is, and I saved a lot of time. I could add color format if I want to have, RGB, something like that, and or not. Personally, I just use the zoom and the document size. To me, that's enough for what I use. And I have now room here for a lot of custom tools that I will be using more often. There are many other changes, improvements, and fixes, you can find that in the changelog. I'll put a link in the description below. And now it's time to download your newest version of Affinity. Have fun!